And is this unit for real? Is it going to be on the market? Or we only have a faceplate? Hi everybody and welcome back to RedStone Production Studios in Amsterdam. I'm together with Joshua van der Stam and Teo Pizzolante from Stam Audio, and they are presenting the 76D Plus. So what's the plus part?
We've wanted to do an 1176 Revision D for a while.
Okay.
We've done the A. We've done the ADF, which had 3 of them in one unit.
Right.
But we never did the D. So while we were at it, we decided let's add something into the mix and make a tube 1176. But the cool thing about it is that it's a standard Revision D 1176.
Okay.
And if you pull on the output knob, it becomes a tube 1176. So the output stage changes into a tube output stage with a ECC 88 tube. And this basically what it does, it adds a lot of coloration, a lot of THD, secondary THD to the sound, and makes it a lot more exciting.
Okay.
It almost becomes sort of an A revision, but even more colored. And we went back to the traditional 4:8:12:20 ratio, because on the ADF we had changed it to the special 2:1 ratio. So we went back to the traditional ratio.
Yep.
And we kept the super slow attack mod also by pulling out on that knob. The SLO stands for slow.
Okay.
So it's basically an 1176 Revision D with 2 new things: the tube mod and the super slow attack.
So it's like completely different output stage, a tube-based one.
It doesn't affect the control amp. It's still the same, but it's just the output stage changes to a tube one. So it's nothing to do like with a 176.
Right, that was going to be like the question. It's not a 176, it's one a 175. It's an 1176D with an output stage that you can select if you want it one way or another.
You got it.
Exactly.
And as for the attack, we have the usual values, of course, but there is also this SLO, better known as slow, which is again, going over the original ballistics in terms of timing of the Revision Ds and getting it much slower. Right?
Yeah, we find it super useful on bass particularly.
Right, so you get the transients, you let them
go through, and it's actually one of our clients who gave us the idea of using the 2:1 ratio on the ADF and adding the super slow, which was a feature that Universal Audio did in the anniversary edition of the 1176, which is black with a blue stripe. Yeah, it's really cool for bass or for instruments with a big low end where you want to let transients go through. So yeah, basically just colors the sound a lot. Again, this design was done with Teo, and probably he has to take most of all credit for it because it was again done in Rome by him.
Yes, well, what we can say is that the very peculiar part of the 1176 is the preamp stage, where you have the J FET that is making the compression. So, of course, we left unaltered the control stage, and we have to deal with the preamp and the line amplifier.
Right.
So the 2 stages are calibrated in order to make an instant comparison between tube and solid state. So we have around 40 dB overall gain, like the original unit. And what happens is that Revision D is known to be the cleanest of the 3, because the major changes that were made were in the preamp stage in order to make the J FET cleaner when in gain reduction. So basically the harmonics on the Revision A and the other revision start to appear when you start to compress. Okay, so when you give control voltage to the J FET, harmonics start to come up, and the Revision D is the one that has less. Because there was the improvement in that days from Revision A to Revision D. So the tube stage is compensating this thing, adding a second harmonic while keeping the compression behavior unaltered. So you have the color, or even more, of a Revision A with the compression behavior of the Revision D, which is cleaner. So it is not a straightforward result, but you can really hear it when you use it.
I mean, on the vocals, I could definitely hear the high mids getting crispier on the tube.
Yes, because it's adding this second harmonic to the compressed signal. So
Right.
you are not adding thing when you compress, but you compress like a D and then add sound after.
Okay, and I am assuming I could also use this as a line amplifier without applying any gain reduction.
Yes, of
like,
course. Yeah.
Like that, and
Yes.
then go with the flow. Still switch into tube mode.
Still switching to tube mode. So in that
Two line
sense,
amplifiers.
you keep the input down and go with the tube up, and then you have the majority of tube sound came out, and vice versa also.
That's crazy.
One important thing is that this is the first time we have advertised or made a unit in stock. So we didn't
Okay.
take pre-orders, we didn't announce it. It's coming out now.
It is
and
coming out
we are
now.
making it and shipping it as it is. And that's a big step for us because we've always worked with pre-orders before
course.
launching a unit. Now it's like, boom, here it is. I think price for the first 50, which sold out already, was
Okay.
$1,090. And I think for the rest of the orders, we're gonna do either $1,190 or $1,199 or $1,290. That's gonna be the range. We don't wanna increase the price a lot. It's not much more expensive to add the tube and the other Carnhill transformer. So there's no reason for us other than, you know, there's a lot of research and development into it, but
course.
in manufacturing costs, it's not so much more expensive than to making a traditional Revision D. So we're gonna keep it below that or at the limit.
Yeah.
You know.
To answer some questions that may rise, the
Yes.
tube is not like starboard plate, but they have really high voltage.
Okay, so
It's
not-
running like a proper tube.
And you mentioned multiple transformers. That was a trick you guys. So there-
There's two, each output stage has a different transformer. So we are using solder transformers in and out on the standard Revision D. These are for us
So-
the best transformers for an
Yeah,
1176
standard
replica we've found, and we've been making these for 5 years now, and
Okay.
nothing comes close. And there's a Carnhill transformer on the
Whenever,
output for the tube, yes, the ECC88. We're probably going to be doing the Revision A as well, and the Revision F with it.
try to include this part of the
Yes,
circuit as
I
well.
think once you give clients this option, why go back to
Not
the...
turning back.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised if anybody uses it this way, you know. Once you've pulled on it,
Yeah,
it stays out.
I see what you mean.
You get a tube 1176, yeah.
Yeah, it's,
This goes in the direction that the company is going. We started as a cloning company, but my idea was always to do original units. So the second stage was to innovate on the existing units. So adding a tube circuit to an 1176, adding a certain features to the Stam child, making a 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 compressor like the 23A, which is the 2A, the 3A, and the 4, and so on. We have many more ideas, and the direction of the company. And the third stage is our original products, which I think some of them will come out this year.
Okay.
The first couple, we're very close to launching our first original product, first original preamp. We've made a Stam knob, which we finally finalized, and I think it looks beautiful. And that's the direction where we're going. And there's a fourth stage. We're not going to talk about that now. And probably a fifth one.
Okay.
But that's the direction we're going. Someone told me once, innovating is not necessarily making something new, but adding something new to what already exists. We're trying to do that here, and for the user to have as many options as possible, and moving into that direction.
Cool. Guys, again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pietro. Appreciate
taking
it.
the
Thank you,
time.
Pietro.
Thank
Grazie.
you, and till the next time. Cool.
Pam, para, pa, pam, 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 pam.